I don't agree that Africa is a poor continent, but I will agree with you. Africa is poorly managed. That I can agree with you because Africa is second largest continent in the world, with 54 supreme state, with over 1.3 billion population plus diaspora, which is making over 17% of the total world uh, population. If you convert all these African significant giants we have in everywhere in every corner, you will realize that we are not poor, but only we are disorganized. That's why the disorganization is taking us to the state of this unity or disuniting us. And from this unity, we are becoming disabled. Once you are not organized, and a simple thing you can't do, and that's the problem. Uh, you see, the African among the 1.3 billion, I think we have very significant giants. They are functioning well all over the world in terms of wills, in terms of resource, in terms of knowledge, in terms of everything, professionalism. We are there, so we are not lacking money. We are just disorganized, and that disorganization is make us to be disabled, or our ability become disability. We end up not able to work for ourselves. End up we and our resources are as a labor or a servant for other people. We are unable to sustain our own life. Imagine if 1.3 billion people, all of them plus diaspora, handcrafted, they can't even able to feed themselves. I think there's a big, I think there's a big betrayal here. We need to identify it. Why this is happening? But also the blame will give that we are disorganized. That's the main point. We will have it, and we have to try to organize ourselves. That's the only way we have it. If you realize 80% or 90% or all of African is starting from our giants, from our leaders up to last normal African. We're just working for the people. We are working for the people to make people rich. People make money on us, and we are putting all our effort to make for them money. Simple. When you import 80% of your consumption, you don't produce it. You consume 80% of your consumption. What you consume, you don't produce. 80% of your raw material, you're exporting it. While you are export 80% of your raw material, you are exporting the 80% of your jobs. 80% of population will not have jobs. When you import 80% of your consumption, it means 80% of economic of the country is destroyed. Where do you think you will get a job? Where do you think you will get a money? And that's the problem. And that is not mean we are all just poor mind, poor thinking. That is poor management. You have money in your pocket, but you don't know how to buy food. But you want to go and beg the crumbs, but you have a money in your pocket. You see, we are working all of us to buy food, which 20% of our food we don't produce it. And we say we're second largest continent in the world. With the resource, we have rain raining, water flowing, sun shining. We have all the environment to make 100% our food locally. You work to buy a medicine, which 80% or 90% you're not participate on it. You have a professionals, doctors, scientists, and thousands of colleges of medicine. Where you want to put them? And you have a raw material again. You are not using it. You work to buy clothes, which 80% or 98% is not your participation. But you have that capacity to make it. You have that role to make it. But you have to export that raw in order to bring in terms of second-hand clothes, which are not safe for your economy and are not safe for our jobs and are not safe for our economy. Electronic devices, we are the most people using the electronic expensive one. We don't participate on making it. Go to vehicle, car making, whatever, and sector. You are not participate on making it. Where do you think you will get sustainable? Once you don't have job, you will not have money. Once you don't have money, you will not able to stabilize your life in terms of security, in terms of food security, in terms of everything. Your economic are down, it means you have done. That is the only problem we have in Africa. If we recognize it, to solve it, that is as simple as thing can be solved. It's not right time for us to blame ourselves. As we say, our problem is disorganizement. We need to organize ourselves and create an institution that unite us intellectual. As we say, we are a wealthy continent. Everything you want is under your feet. It's you to make that thing accessible or successful. Since we are not a promised land, God has promised us this angel or this any prophet coming to heal us. It's the only miracle we have to play is we to work and change that dilemma. Cornelius has lived you before 60, I think before 65 or 70, almost 70 years. They left you. They left you and they come back to you in terms of new colonization and new slavery. But remember, the time of colonization in ordinary way, we was fully cooperate with the colonizer to colonize ourselves. And cooperate with the slave master to slave ourselves. And currently, we are 100%, we are in full cooperation with the colonizer and with new slavery masters to slave ourselves and colonize ourselves. To whom you are going to blame? This is a long history. Let us think for tomorrow, not for yesterday. Has passed. Let's think how we can build Bishop tomorrow. Come to our leaders. You will not be able to blame leaders on this, because when we start that game of blaming, complaining, it's delay us. It's a delaying tactics. Our leaders are the same community as we. They eat same food as we eat. They have the same mindset as we have. We cannot 1.3 billion, over 1.3 billion, to blame only 54 people. They are on charge. It means we have a problem. We need to support each other. We need to put that stress down and support each other, especially when we talk about the leaders. We need to support them wherever they want to be supported. We need to push them wherever they want to be pushed. We need to advise them where we see they are mistaken and how they can improve. We need to appreciate the small they did in order to motivate them or to promote them to do more better, rather than we are in the just straight away attacking each other. You are wrong and you are wrong and you are wrong. This is not going to change their mind. It's making them more stupid, because whatever they do, there's no appreciation. I'm not saying all leaders in Africa they are corrupt. There is a problem, yes, here and there, but we cannot identify that problems, or we cannot identify who is belong to us and who is want to work to us and who is working to the masters, until we initiate ourselves and be close to them, listen to them, see what's their problems, see what their challenges. They come from different perspective. In my country, Sudan, we changed 7 leaders since 1956. But in the ground you go in Sudan, there's no change. The country is totally, the economic is down. There's nothing. It means the problem is not the leaders. The problem is the system put to us. And that system who put to you, don't expect can come and change it. You as want to change that system. If we realize that and we work close to each other, we will identify and we will create a new potential leaders the way we want it. According to me, the solution for me is that we are lacking in institutions. That's what I say. It is the simplest problem we are having is we are lacking in institution. As we say, we don't lack money, we don't lack knowledge, we don't lack anything. African giants in all over the world, they are functioning well. In terms of economic, they're well in top ranking. In terms of arts, sport, in all the creativities, they're in the top. They don't have problem. They function as any human being else function. But what we don't have here, we don't have an institution. What I mean by an institution, we need to have an independent institution which can put all these giants together, whom are willing to serve Africa. From 1.3 billion, they are the one willing to serve Africa, but minus institutions, nowhere they are going to serve. They will just having, look, nothing they can do. This is what one step we have to take. Creating independent institutions which can support current and active institutions to make them function. If we don't function as a normal citizen, I don't think so the leaders can function. We need to put that pressure on ourselves. We need to observe and entire account in a corner and know where is the problem and which type of healing is need to be healed. Listen, this is simplest problems in Africa, which a small kid can solve it. A small kid, an adult kid can solve it, or an educated person can solve it. But we cannot solve it because over delaying and lack of monitoring or observing to the entire continent, it is beginning to become a problem. You can see people are pressing down and up and pulling rope for years. When they blow for good. We are not able to come. As the disasters, there's a disasters you can aware where it's to happen and when will it happen. We need to be actually ready to respond what we are aware of and aware and be prepared to what we are not aware of. That's an institution, we need to create it. As Professor Lumumba has a good example say, in Africa we have a people with the power, no idea. And then we have people with idea and no power. Believe me, that combination, that example, if we use it in positive way, it will give you a strong combination of the people. And that is the world about. You have no idea you need power. You need idea. You have idea. You don't need power. All of that combination, we have to use it in really perspective. This is the only way we can take. Because if we don't do it, it's still with our next generation. They have to take this step. Minus institution, you're not going anywhere. We are there. Yes, Africans are not sleeping. They are shouting everywhere, working day and night. But individually, when you move alone, you will not go far distant. When you work alone, nothing you do. But unity and working group is the strongest chemical. We're supposed to use it in the different perspectives. Msema, wa Afrika lazima muamuka nisimama amara kupiga kazi uende mbele. I mean, we have to stand and start for work. Let the blame and complaint behind and start working. That is our future. Our future is not in blaming. It's not in complaining. You know, by the way, when you start complaining and blaming, you're reducing your value. I may know you are my enemy, but I don't want to blame you because it's my mistake. I know you. If I have power, I will do that. If I don't have power, let me silent. I think that's the right way.